Once again, this is TitleSearch.com. Hello, this is Dave. So what does a probate court have to do with real estate? Well, probate court typically supervises and administers estates for people who have become deceased. In some cases, it also handles things like guardianship of minors, financial interests of people that are incapacitated or that are in controversy. And these affect real estate because in a lot of cases, the people who are subject to jurisdiction by the probate court own real estate. Another area that it affects real estate is in creating a trust. Sometimes the probate court in a county is the venue that creates and administers trust agreements or family trusts. So each jurisdiction handles it differently, but it all runs the same. It's personal financial affairs are handled by the probate department. They're not directly recorded against real estate, but I can guarantee you if a person becomes deceased and they owned real estate, like we talked about in our last video, it's probably going to affect their property by statute. So if you're doing a search on real estate, make sure you know where the probate records are, how to search them, you're searching the right names, and that you get the records which could affect the property. Has anybody who owned this property in the past become deceased? If they did, was the property correctly transferred to the heirs? And if it was, is that all documented? And did each one of those heirs sign away their ownership or their rights to the next chain of title owner? Because if they didn't, the future claims of ownership might be at risk. During their ownership, did any of the heirs accumulate a lien? Let's say a person becomes deceased, they leave their property to 4 children. And during the short period of time those 4 children own it, let's say they own it for 6 months and they sell it and take their money, one of the kids gets a judgment, an IRS tax lien against them. Well, just because that lien hit at the same time they own the property, that lien now attaches to the property and it stays with that property even for additional owners. So probate records are important to look at. Make sure that if you're getting a title search that you ensure that's part of the scope of the search and as far back as owners as you want to look, because probate records are often overlooked and a pretty important source of errors and misliens on property title searches.